Are you tired of searching for affordable rooms for your smart business? Then worry no more. Strong Tower Plaza Pipeline is here for you. Located along Kiambogo Element Taita Road opposite oil tanks, few meters away from Jehovah Shammah Prayer Center, is an ideal business premise that offers affordable business offices, spacious halls for events such as birthday parties, wedding events, churches, supermarkets, and colleges. For business starters, we have small shops and renting out single rooms where water and electricity is not a problem. We have a 24-hour security system for your business, without forgetting an ample parking space for your vehicle. You can reach us on 0701 879 585 or 0733 791 866 or 0722 291 165. Potential wholesalers and retail customers are waiting for you. Hurry, hurry, hurry. For the early bird catches the worm. Strong Tower Plaza Pipeline. Your business is our priority.
Our viewers, we welcome you once again to this session in Liz Levich TV, where we bring you teachings, counseling, songs of praise, and other issues that come up on daily basis. So today we are happy to have our guest, who is Anthony. Anthony will greet you and will tell you who he is, because he's here, where he comes from, so that we get to know him well. Welcome, Anthony.
Thank you very much.
Look at your camera there. Greet our viewers. Tell them where you come from.
Okay, viewers, good morning. My name is Anthony Mutuli. I'm a human rights advocate and I'm a Kenyan. So I come from Kenya. And I do advocacy on matters human rights and child maltreatment. We realize that the society we are living in right now is not very conducive, in fact, for all of us. But the social injustices we witness around, they do not just come out of the blues. Something happened at a tender age, and then it comes to reveal itself very late in life. That is why currently I've targeted so much the children. You know, when we empower children by way of instilling knowledge about their bodies and their rights to privacy, rights to control your own decisions and your body, then they grow up knowing that this is not right. If somebody behaved in such and such a manner towards me, that is a violation of my human rights, and they can alert somebody else so that we prevent an occurrence of an abuse, which could be sexual, physical, emotional, or otherwise.
Mr. Anthony, we want to know you more. You have said you are Kenyan, but we are all Kenyans. Can you take us through your journey in education, your profession, so that we get to know you?
Yeah, the problem is that what I do, I advocate for cross-cultural diversity, sensitivity, and inclusion, whereby we are all equal, regardless of gender, sexual orientation, your race, skin color, and whatever. That's why I said Kenyan to avoid my tribe, because again, that becomes an impediment.
Where do you come from?
But I come from Kakamega, Meluya.
Because we all have origins and we are all Kenyans, but it's good that I know, if I'm meeting you for the first time, it's good that I know you. Yes.
Yeah, I come from Western Kenya. I am a Luya by tribe. And actually I schooled here in Kenya. And some of the learning I've done it outside.
Tell us that outside. Take us through your profession. We want to know you, Mr.
I've done some studies with Harvard University. I've done some of them here.
Yes.
It is a mixed grill. I've done so many things. My first profession was in banking.
Very good. Now we are talking.
I've worked with Kenya Commercial Bank, in fact, in various branches, various regions in the country. Then I left and went into training to try and change profession during the Millennium Bug, if you can remember, in the year 2000. So I went into logistics.
Yes.
After that, I was still chasing my passion. You know, for you to discover yourself, it takes quite a while.
Yes.
And then I realized I was so much into, as much as I was doing much in supply chain management, I also had something in me that was humanitarian. Then I decided to do humanitarian studies. And this one, I've done it with Harvard online, and I've also done it with the Institute of Humanitarian
Very good.
Studies. Yes.
And that is what
has brought me now.
brought you to
Yes.
this child maltreatment.
Because I forgot to mention this, I have worked in war-torn countries. And what I've observed in those countries, in Kenya we have a lot of peace. In fact, we should not be complaining. But that does not mean we should not talk down the political sentiments that are likely to elicit unnecessary reactions that can culminate into, animosity.
Yes.
But I have been in South Africa, and I can tell you the inequalities in South Africa, apartheid ended for publicity. That was just public relations. It is so deeply rooted, and I doubt that it's going to end soon. And that's why it is wise to start with kids. The only way to end these inequalities is to start at a tender age. Inform the children that this is what is morally right. So they grow up knowing, as much as I could look up to Anthony, but these are the terms of reference. As much as we go to church, we are told ABCD, but the same people who are preaching to us, perhaps some of them are not, they don't act what they preach.
Now, Anthony,
Yes.
before we get into details of
Yes.
that, we have just said that we have followed now your story.
Yes.
We are at a point where you have said now you entered into dealing with child maltreatment. Can you tell us what it is? Tell our viewers what
Child
it is.
maltreatment, actually, let me say child abuse. Child maltreatment is child abuse. And this is, sorry, my name is gone. This is an act. It could be done by an adult or by a child against a child, harming them psychologically, physically, or sexually. And this has so many consequences, both to the individual child, to the person whom I will call, the person acting, who is orchestrating that action. I would term them the perpetrators, and the community at large. The costs are hefty. Because for one, when we discover that a child has been abused, there is the cost of removing that child from that unhealthy environment and giving them, rehoming them, or giving them a safe space and a safe place.
Yes.
So that they can lead a normal life away from the abuse.
Now, what would you consider as the major child abuse or maltreatment? As the major, especially in Kenya, in our Kenya here.
There is neglect, and there is also, neglect and that lack of care and love to a child is the starting point. And that is where, most of the people get into parenthood without having been given any coaching on what parenting is. And so they end up mistreating the kid, either knowingly or unknowingly. And you harm the kid either emotionally, because if you talk down a kid, for example, you might not be knowing what effects that will have on the child. But when you study, because emotional damage is the worst. they will live with it to the grave. When you belittle a kid, the signs are that they will withdraw from social space. You will see them, they do not have that self-confidence. They can't express themselves because already my mom, my dad has looked down upon me. I could not express myself because they said, hey, Mary, you are too young. You are not of age to give an opinion. Kids have photographic memory. And the moment you tell them that and they feel belittled, they will not talk again. So even again, nursing them out of that abuse becomes very difficult. And then there is the sexual, which is a bit complex because sexual abuse, I would break it into two. There is contact and there is non-contact sexual abuse, whereby they could expose the non-contact. Somebody could be something funny. I will give you the statistics shortly. Of all these cases of child abuse or child maltreatment, the perpetrator is well known to the victim. It will be a parent or a family member, somebody in authority like the teachers, somebody in church who is supposed to be taking care of them, or caregivers. We take our kids to, care centers to be taken care of. That is where it happens.
Okay.
And the most affected, where you may never discover, those very much vulnerable are the kids who are living with disabilities. But now the word disability is being taken away from the space because it is a bit demeaning. So we use people who are able differently, because I would be lacking a limb, but here I'm too sharp. Somebody else could be having everything, but their upstairs is none. So there is that balance. That's why I told you we do cross-cultural diversity, sensitivity, and inclusion, so that everybody is included in the decision-making process. Do not look down upon somebody because they have a certain disability. Tell them you are differently abled. Because now, how they are abused and you don't get to know is this person perhaps is blind, and then dumb. Somebody has abused this kid, touching them inappropriately, or beating them, and then they dress them in clothes that may not reveal the bruises you've inflicted in them. It will be very difficult. So it requires a very keen eye on them for you to identify. This one is being abused.
Are you tired of searching for affordable rooms for your smart business? Then worry no more. Strong Tower Plaza Pipeline is here for you. Located along Kiambogo Elementaita Road opposite oil tanks, few meters away from Jehovah Shammah Prayer Center, is an ideal business premise that offers affordable business offices, spacious halls for events such as birthday parties, wedding events, churches, supermarkets, and colleges. For business starters, we have small shops and renting out single rooms where water and electricity is not a problem. We have a 24-hour security system for your business, without forgetting an ample parking space for your vehicle. You can reach us on 0701 879 585 or 0733 791 866 or 0722 291 165. Potential wholesalers and retail customers are waiting for you. Hurry, hurry, hurry. For the early bird catches the worm. Strong Tower Plaza Pipeline. Your business is our priority.
So, Anthony, I'm sure you'll be coming here in the days to come, and we shall go into details in all these things. Today we are just laying an outline of that, okay?
Yes.
So from what you have said, I can see that there is physical abuse,
Yes.
there is sexual abuse,
Yes.
there is emotional abuse,
Yes.
there is neglect,
Yes.
there are all this, and there is something you have mentioned about maltreatment of people with disabilities,
yes.
or who are able differently.
Yes.
So, what are the causes of this? Generally, because we shall go into details in this. What would you say are the causes of this child abuse?
The cause of child abuse, normally, it is, sometimes it takes the form of something genetic, you know. It is almost like it's inherent. Because the person who has been abused will definitely abuse in revenge at a later age.
So it is
if you don't talk to them, I'm just trying to get the statistics so that you get it. If you do not talk to them at an early age, because when they speak out and shed tears, that is part of healing. But if you do not speak to them and they live with this, it will keep recurring. It is cyclic.
Okay.
You understand? The people you see, if you see a prostitute on the street, that person was abused when they were young. If you see a robber who is he commits robbery with violence, that violence was in their homestead when he was growing up. You know, so it's not something that comes out of the blues. It is a recurrence. It happened to me when I was young, and in old age, it just transforms. It upgrades itself into another form. So that is how it happens. And I just wanted to give you some statistics on how, because they say about 90% of 90% of child sex abuse victims know their abuser. 95, these are real statistics.
Okay.
95% of of child abusers were themselves abused as children. 80% of substance abusers were abused as children. 80% of runaways, those who run away from home, they go to the street, they become street children. Or they become rebellious to their families. They cite an abuse at home. Recently we had something on TV where I think they were rehabilitating some street children from Uhuru Park. And one of the guys said why he left home. He had already, he went to school, he went through an education system up to high school. But he ran from home because of that constant beating of the mother. And he could not stand against his father and fight it. So he ran away to go on the street. If they wouldn't have been rehabilitated, they would be so unmissed. Those are the people who threw feces on you, fecal matter on you, so that you produce some money. And you will not refuse. Because when I'm dressed like this, do you expect me to accept to be smeared in feces? No.
So are we saying that those are some of the consequences of child abuse?
Those are the consequences of child abuse. And in essence, it is imperative to mention here that the best way to end, in fact, the advantage is child maltreatment is preventable. Because
that was my next question now. Because you have said some of the consequences of child abuse, I was coming to the question of what can be done. Is there something that the government can do to prevent child abuse, or the parents, or whoever is in charge of the children? Can you combine all that?
That is where I come in.
Yes.
Being an expert on matters child rights.
Yes.
And I also do, I didn't mention, sexual and gender-based violence.
Yes.
We understand child maltreatment upgrades and becomes SGBV. You understand? But now, how do we prevent child maltreatment?
Yeah.
To prevent child maltreatment, I'm doing advocacy, for example, in schools, in churches, and even in other institutions of higher learning, where we will congregate and I give a speech. We have to empower people. One, make kids understand that they have the right to control their own bodies. They should understand this is the private parts of my body, and nobody is entitled to touching them. You understand?
Yes.
Number two, we should create a supporting environment so that these kids, when they are abused, they have the audacity to say, Liz, I was abused by Anthony, and this is what he did. But what we do currently, we ridicule them. The society prejudges even before they disclose. So they stay with it. And when they stay with it, at one point in life it will have to come out. So it will end up, because I was raped when I was young. What is the difference? What difference does it make if today I become a prostitute?
Yes.
You find them on Koinange Street. Number two, we have to bring education. They have to bring sexual. It is a bit controversial, but sexual education is mandatory. It has to be integrated into the academic syllabus. So that requires partnership. There has to be a collaboration between
but the parents,
civil society.
the parents have not liked that.
Because parents don't want to talk about it.
About those sexual things.
Matters, sexual abuse.
Children, what will you do to
No,
make
but I'm doing it in schools because I'm targeting children.
Yes.
And I've done quite a bit. I do it on television. Yeah. And I'm here, I'm doing it again. So people are now getting sensitized. They are getting to know as much. We are running away from the problem. And if you run away from the problem, I guess you've not solved it. The best
so
way.
Are you talking to the government to
we are talking to the government using NGOs, civil society to ensure that we have a policy in place. Because the Kenyan government, Kenya is a signatory to the Child Rights Convention. So since they are a signatory to that convention that protects the rights of children, they should be on the forefront. They will give support on policy formulation that then prohibits child maltreatment. That is where the government comes in. But the government cannot act in isolation. There has to be a willing parent, a willing child to give that information, a willing community that you see something, you say something. So that somebody somewhere comes and takes action against.
So you have said you are teaching children.
I teach children, I teach women empowerment, I teach them about their rights, so that, sexual abuse. I told you this is just upgrading. When you get to SGBV, that is high school now. Child maltreatment, we are in basic education. So it upgrades and becomes silly. That is why you've seen murders happening. You see it on social media, in the national media, all these days you've seen it. In fact, during COVID, it has been so rampant.
So you are teaching children, you are teaching who else?
Everybody.
The mothers?
The entire society.
The parents?
The parents,
you also
the
organize
teachers,
meetings
the
with
caregivers.
the parents?
I organize meetings.
And also with the teachers?
And with the teachers.
And you are also talking to the government?
The government also comes in because you cannot formulate a policy without incorporating the government. So we need the government to come in. For example, I work also with the what we call shelters. Women shelters. Women shelters are just safe spaces where women who have been abused are taken in. As for the children, they are taken to children's homes. But what is the environment within those children's homes?
What about men?
Men have come in. We've always...
You have neglected men.
I have not neglected.
No, I'm saying
abuse
these people who take care of these groups.
Yes.
Men have complained.
Men have not been. And that is why I'm now creating the awareness that when you talk matters, gender-based violence, men are not left behind, men and boys. Yeah, because child maltreatment targets both female and men.
Sure.
Which are the boys and the girls, our sons and daughters. Now, when it comes to sexual and gender-based violence at a higher scale, it affects both men and women. I don't want to mention where it is so prone in Kenya, but you've seen men and women being killed, and then also they come and slaughter even their own kids. It is crazy. So it's a high time we sensitize the entire population without discrimination, so that everybody has this information. The moment everybody has information, even the Bible says, people perish for lack of
knowledge.
Lack of knowledge. I'm giving that knowledge. The moment you are sensitized about what it is that you should abstain from, we'll have a moral society, a society where we can coexist peacefully and harmoniously. I remember a long time ago, the child belonged to society. If you saw somebody's kid being messed around, you would act as though that was your kid. It has long changed. The kid belongs just to me. If it is yours, it's yours. I care less about that. That mindset there has to be a paradigm shift for us to be able to fight child maltreatment effectively.
Very good, Anthony. Now I think we are in a better place to understand what you do, who you are, what you do, and you have said you go around schools.
I go around in schools,
in
both
churches,
public and
you
private.
go to churches.
In churches, I request the management so that I'm given an opportunity to talk to the children, teach them, you know.
And
so that once they know.
Do you also speak to congregations in the church?
Of course,
like in our church, I know we have times when we have teaching Sundays.
Yes.
So that you can also be called, you come and teach some of
Absolutely. Because you see, in driving, why are you taken to a driving school? When you would just take a vehicle, the automatic cars, you don't even need somebody to tutor you. You just self-train and start moving because of the road signs and the model town. So that you are told, when you see this sign, this is a stop. You see this, there is a hospital. You pause, wait for people to pass, and then don't overspeed. The speed limit in a town or a local shopping center is this much. It is the same with life. That there will be certain signs, hey, stop. Here, give way. So when we give these kids this information, we give plus the parent. So that the parent knows what signs to seek for in a child, and then they'll be able to tell, hey, the relative I'm living with could be abusing my kid.
Yeah.
But it has also escalated into even the dad himself or the mother will abuse their own children. So unless you know the signs, how will you prevent it? Because the child, as I've told you, sometimes they are intimidated. You know, they are threatened. If you speak, you saw what was on TV yesterday. It's not do you think a kid will speak? For fear of losing their life. But they have a right to life. They have a right to protection. They have a right to, you know, parentage, good parentage. Yeah. So if there is an abuse, they should also be given the support to speak out and be helped. And that's the awareness I'm creating.
So, Anthony, as we come to the end of this interview, do you think there is anything that we have left out for introduction that you can add in 1 minute?
Perhaps what I will urge the entire society that we need, upon birth, the moment you are given birth to in that labor ward, in that village at home, regardless of the environment, but you are breathing, you are entitled to human rights. Okay. And those human rights are the safety nets for our society. Let us be obedient, observe those rights, and ensure they are implemented. And there should be punitive measures against perpetrators, very severe punishment, such that it becomes a lesson to the rest of the society that if you do this, this is where you end. I am sure together we shall manage to end child maltreatment.
I believe, Anthony, this was only the beginning.
Yes.
And introduction.
Yes.
And tell our viewers what they should be expecting from you in the days to come, right here in this Refuge TV.
Right now, I'm working on a document. Actually, I was very instrumental in the formulation of 2021 maternal health care crisis policy that has been adopted by the United Nations. That booklet, copies are being given to each and every country on the African continent. They will see my name there and signature.
Okay.
Right now, I'm working again on another document for sexual and gender-based violence that again is being sponsored by ECOWAS, African Union, and the United Nations. I think by January, that will be launched in New York, United Nations headquarters. So I'm doing so much to do with gender, and I believe that very soon society will be free of these malpractices. Yes.
So Anthony, we are so grateful to have had you here, and we want to wish you all the best in whatever that you are doing, and it's a great job that you are doing, and we wish you all the best. And just look at the camera there, greet one or two people, and
Thank you.
And if you want to give your number, your contact, whatever you want to tell our viewers.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now, viewers, I just want to thank you for having taken the time to view us during this worthy program. And my contacts are 0718 111 467. 0718 111 467. And I'll be common. I also visit other media houses on matters, gender-based violence, child maltreatment, and whatnot. And so they will be expecting more. And even on Facebook, I have a Facebook page, Anthony Mutuli. If you key in that, you'll find it, where I'm sensitizing people again on depression. What depression is, what are the signs to look for, how does it permit into the society, and how can we prevent it, and how can we diagnose and treat it. So I'm doing so much. Thank you so much, viewers, for giving us this opportunity to give you the information.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Our viewers, I'm sure you have enjoyed talking with Anthony. You have enjoyed the topic, and I'm sure you'll be looking on us. He'll be coming here every other time. We'll inform you so that we can be able to learn these very important issues of child maltreatment. Till next time, bye-bye, and God bless you.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to us.
Are you looking for a place to rest with friends and family? Buraha Zenoni Hotel and Resort Nakuru Barnabas, located 200 meters away from Nakuru-Nairobi Highway, welcomes you with a cool breeze. We offer good accommodation facilities, that is, dining experience. Lodgings, kids activities, and a swimming pool. We also offer ample parking space for your vehicle. We serve authentic African cuisine. You can reach us on 0723 499 599. Buraha Zenoni Hotel, where quality meets satisfaction.